So before we start with the problem, we will start with the concept of what is to own an asset and what is to lease an asset. So starting with a corporate has a decision when it wants to buy an asset. It has a decision. It can either own the asset, that is buy the asset, or it can lease the asset. In other words, it can rent it out. So this corporate has to take a decision whether they want to buy or lease. So based on what will it take a decision? That we will be doing in the problem. Okay. So we'll understand what is to buy and what is to lease, what consists in leasing and what consists in buying. So what consists in buying is, there are two options. For example, say you want to buy a bike. When you want to buy a bike, you can buy it in cash or you can buy it on loan. Now this is, you are buying the bike for yourself, you are not leasing the bike, mind you. Okay. So when you're buying the bike on cash, you pay straight away the cash amount and you take your bike, or else you go to the next option, that is loan. So you go to a bank, the bank will pay the loan amount on your behalf. What you have to do is, you have to pay in something called as a EMI, correct? While in case of lease, you directly pay something called as rental amount. Now this, in case I would say suppose you are going to another state, you are going for a holiday, you would not go and buy a bike, so you would not pay cash, nor would you take a loan. So what you would do is, you would go and take a bike on rent. So you would pay maybe about 5,000 rupees and then you would take the bike on rent. So in this case, you are not buying the bike, but you are leasing it out. Okay. So now we'll come back to owning. When you buy an asset, coming to this loan part of it, this EMI is divided again into two parts. One is something called as a principal amount, and the other is called interest portion. So whenever you are paying your EMI, say you are paying an EMI of 10,000 rupees, say maybe 8,000 is your principal, 2,000 would be your interest. Okay. So before we start, let us look at what is given in the problem. The first thing is, it's saying the company wants to lease out an asset which is costing, or it wants to buy an asset which is costing 1 lakh rupees. Second thing is, it's saying is the rate of depreciation is 15%. Now this is not straight line, this is written down value method, wherein the depreciation keeps reducing. Rate of interest is 10%. The repayment of loan is 20,000, that is the principal amount. Please note, this is not the entire EMI. This is just the 20,000 which consists of the principal amount. The interest is here 10%. So here they have bifurcated the interest and they have given the interest and the principal separately. Okay. The rate of tax is 26%. Residual value is 20,000. That is when the asset is sold after 5 years. I will explain to you what is residual later. Then profit is assumed for the next 5 years. See, can you tell the profit after 5 years? You cannot tell what a company is going to make next year itself, right? So what they're doing is, they're just assuming that the next 5 years profit is 1 lakh rupees. I will tell you this also, why they are doing it. Now in this case, they are saying is profit before depreciation, interest and tax, and here they are saying profit before lease, rent and tax. And the eighth one here is, they are saying the lease rent is 30,000 per annum. Per annum is annually. Okay. Even this principal amount is 20,000 per annum. Everything is per annum, annually. Now what I shall do is, I will explain to you what is residual value. Like here they have said residual value, how much? 20,000, right, after 5 years. So we'll understand what is residual value first. Now there are two cases. One is when you buy an asset, the other is when you lease an asset. And I said, suppose you want to buy a bike, you can buy it in cash or you can take it on loan. The second case is when you go on a holiday, you can take the bike on rent. So now let us understand what is residual value. Residual value is something which is when the asset is sold. So when you sell the asset for scrap, or you sell the asset as a second hand, whatever you get back, that amount is termed as your residual value. So now I would like to ask you a question herein. Suppose you buy an asset, can you sell your asset? Or suppose you take your bike on lease, can you sell the asset? In which case can you sell the asset? And in which case can you have a residual value? So say suppose we go to the case 1. Say I have bought my bike on loan and I have finished my loan, I have finished paying my loan. In this case, can I sell my asset? Yes, I can sell my asset. If I buy my asset on cash, I pay cash and I take the asset. So in this case, can I sell my asset? Yes, I can sell my asset. So when I buy an asset, in general, when I buy an asset, I can sell the asset. But if I take, say I go to another state for a holiday and I take the bike on rent, can I sell that bike now? Does it become mine? No. I may just have possession of the asset. In this case, I'm just having possession, but I do not have ownership. In this case, I have possession as well as I have ownership. So residual value, you can have residual value only when you own or buy the asset. Now to understand it further, say suppose you have bought the asset, say your bike is costing rupees 1 lakh rupees. Now when we're talking with respect to business, we get something called as depreciation. Say in over 5 years, we have depreciated the bike, say by 60,000. So over 5 years, by 60,000 is your depreciation amount. Now what happens here is 40,000 is your book value. Now in this case, we need to calculate something called as, in this case we have to calculate something called as profit or loss on sale of asset. Okay, so we are trying to calculate what is the profit or loss on sale of asset. Now as per my books, after 5 years, this is my value of the asset, 40,000. So suppose I sell my asset for 50,000. In this case, my profit is, I'm making a profit of 10,000 rupees. And suppose I sell my asset for 20,000. In this case, I'm making a loss of 20,000 rupees. So here it is a loss, and in this case it is a profit. So I hope you have understood this. And suppose you have sold the asset for 40,000 rupees. There is no loss or no profit on sale of asset. So now before we go to the problem, there is another part that you need to understand is when we are calculating the profit and loss now. Okay. First thing is, what we do is we put the income, then we have less expenses. So we have our numerous expenses here, and then we have our profit. So it is either income minus expense, or what you can call it even revenue minus expenses, and here we have our profit. Then upon this profit, what happens is we calculate our tax portion. So the tax amount is calculated depending upon this, and then we have something called as profit after tax. Now this is the final profit. Now this is the profit which the company can give it to its shareholders, or it can transfer it to its reserves. So now it is important to understand what is asked. So the problem is giving us an assumption. Understand here is, say suppose you are a businessman and you are owning a company. So now you have two decisions to make. You need to understand whether you need to buy an asset or you need to take an asset on lease. Okay, so you are confused. So what you do is you ask your accountant, should I buy the asset or take it on lease? Like I was saying, the decision is not taken. It has to be taken in the future. Now you have to take the decision in the future. You do not know what is to be done. So you will ask your accountant. So what your accountant is going to do is, he is going to predict. He is going to say, suppose we are going to have a profit of 1 lakh. Now understand again, in the problem is we are not concerned about other income and other expenses. We are concerned only about expenses which are related to buying the asset, that particular asset, or expenses which are related to lease of that particular asset. We are not concerned about any other income. and other expenses with respect to that business. So we are concerned only with the expenses which are related to buying the asset or expenses which are related to lease of asset. So now in the problem what is given is we have given this first, and what they are saying is expenses such as loan EMI with respect to interest is not taken while calculating. This is just an assumption. So we have to, what we will do is we'll go first backwards, and then we will determine the actual profit, then we'll come back again here to determine the actual profit, and then we will go forward. Okay, now understand this thing is, this is just an assumption. This is just to make a decision whether to buy the asset or to take the asset on lease. So now let us start with the problem. Now the problem states that the first thing is there, if you look at this, profit assumption is 1 lakh. So profit before, this is, now we are doing, the first thing is for purchase of asset, that is you buy or own the asset. So profit before depreciation, interest and tax is given. Now for all the years we are assuming that it is 1 lakh rupees. So we'll just put 1 lakh for all the years. Now this is a cumulative figure, that is cumulative, that is total for all the years. So it comes to 5 lakhs. Now before we do this, we have to understand, say here, say suppose income is 200 rupees. I'm just giving you an example, and expenses are 50 rupees. So therefore your 200 minus expenses, it will come to your profit is 150. Now what it is saying here is, you have calculated your profit, but you have forgotten to take something called as depreciation. You have forgotten to take something called as interest. So depreciation will consider 20 and say interest is 30. So you have forgotten to consider it, they are saying. So now what you will do is, you will minus this from this profit, right? So that is what we are going to do the next part now. The next part here, it states that in the problem we have something called as depreciation. So depreciation is 15% written down value. Now if you understand what is the asset, the cost of the asset is, the cost of asset, we will just calculate depreciation here now. See, the cost of asset is 1 lakh and depreciation is 15%. So 15% of 1 lakh is 15,000, correct? So now this is for the first year. Second year, it is 1 lakh minus this amount, that is 85,000. Now on 85,000, 15% is your depreciation. 15% is your depreciation. So it comes to 12,750. Then for the third year, what you will do? Value of the asset, opening balance minus depreciation, that amount you take here into 15%. So you will get an other value, okay? So this calculation you do. So for the first year, the depreciation is 15,000. I already have the calculation, so I will just write it down. 12,750 for the second year. Third year it is 10,838. Fourth year it is 9,212, and fifth year it is 7,830. So total depreciation, now understand this is total depreciation for 5 years. Total depreciation for 5 years is 55,630. Okay. So now we go to the next part. The next part says interest. Now this interest, please understand, it is on loan. So now interest on loan, say we are assuming that that asset was costing, cost of the asset is 1 lakh. We are assuming, not cost asset we are not assuming, sorry, we are assuming that the loan is 1 lakh rupees. See, the asset is costing 1 lakh, so we are assuming that you are taking the loan for the entire amount. If you look here, cost of asset is given here 1 lakh. Okay, so yes, we are assuming now that the loan is taken for the entire asset. Now understand one thing here is, in the problem it is said that you are paying 20,000 rupees towards principal. So for the first year your interest is 10% of 1 lakh, it is 10,000, correct? Now what they are saying is, after first year you have paid 20,000 rupees towards principal. So if you have paid 20,000 rupees towards principal, how much will it be? It will be 80,000. 80,000 into 10%. So it comes to 8,000. So for the following year, how much will it be? So that means you have paid for the third year, you have paid another 20,000, right? So from this 80,000, 20,000 you have minused. So it comes to 60,000 into 10%, comes to 6,000. Now you will wonder why I am not taking that 20,000 rupees over here. Why I have not taken 20,000 rupees in this? For that, what we will do is, we will go to the profit and loss. I'll just explain to you why I have not taken the principal amount. Now say I am buying a machine on loan. Or say I am buying a car, for which I have gone to Axis Bank and I have taken a loan of say 100 rupees. Or we'll make it, we'll not say 100 rupees, we'll just make it 1 lakh. Okay, I have taken a loan, which means it will show in my liability side, correct? Now what happens here is, I am paying 20,000 rupees EMI. This is my EMI amount. Now this is consisting of two parts. Say 10,000 goes towards principal and 10,000 goes towards interest. Understand one very important thing here. Interest portion is treated as expense. Interest on loan, that is 10,000, and which means my principal has reduced only by, see, I have paid how much towards principal? I have paid 10,000, and here minus 10,000, which means balance will show as pending 90,000. Getting it? So in my liability, still it will show Axis Bank loan 90,000 is still pending. I'll just explain and give you another example. Say suppose there's a friend, say Sheldon, has given you, this is A is you and Sheldon is your friend. So I was saying, Sheldon gave you say 100 rupees, and what you have done is, after 10 days you have returned 100 rupees to Sheldon. Now this 100 rupees was previously just a liability of yours, which means you had to return it back. But this is now first case scenario. Second case scenario now, Sheldon has given you 100 rupees, but instead of 100 you have given 120 rupees, correct? So what happens here is, 20 rupees you have given addition. Now this 20 becomes your interest and this is your expense, because this is the additional amount going from your pocket. This is what you were supposed to give. 100 was what you were supposed to give, which means he had given it to you and you were supposed to return it back. It's not your additional expense. Your expense is how much? 20 rupees. And therefore over here when we're talking about interest on loan is taken as expense, and therefore only this will come in the profit and loss, while the principal amount comes in the balance sheet. So yes, I hope now you have understood why we are not taking the 20,000, that is this repayment of loan principal amount. I hope you have understood why we are not taking the 20,000, because this 20,000 is not an expense which is taken in profit and loss. This 20,000 is taken in the balance sheet. So therefore we do not take it over here to calculate the profit or loss. Like I was saying, I have not put this in brackets. These are minus figures. It has to be minus, right? I had shown you before that these have to be minus from the profit. because it was not done, it was not considered, right? So now we are going to take the interest. So for the first year it is 10,000, so we will take 10,000 interest, because interest also has to be minus, so I am putting it in brackets. Then for the second year it is 8,000, third year it is 6,000, fourth year it is 4,000, and we have 2,000 for the last year. So the total comes to 30,000 total interest for 5 years. So on the loan we are paying 30,000 towards only interest. So now we have the fourth thing is profit before tax. So this is now the actual profit before tax. This was just an assumed profit. Mind you, this entire thing is an assumption. So this was the assumed profit, after which we have calculated our depreciation and the interest, and now we are getting the profit after tax. So profit after tax in this case would be 1 lakh minus 15,000 minus 10,000, which comes to 75,000. For the second year it would be 79,250. For the third year it is 83,162. For the fourth year it is 86,788. For the fifth year it is 90,170. So the total profit before tax is 4,14,370. So total profit before tax is 4,370. So now we have got a profit before tax, which means we have to calculate our tax now. So how much is the tax? Tax is 26%, correct? So 26% on the profit. So 26% of 75,000 is 19,500. Then 26% of 79,250 is 20,605. So 26% upon 83,162, it is 21,622. Similarly, the next is 22,565 and 23,444. So the total tax for 5 years paid is 1,07,736. Okay, is the total tax paid for 5 years. Coming to the next now, the last one here is profit after tax. So profit after tax is profit before tax minus tax, that is 55,500. Here it is 58,645. Please understand it is 79,250 minus 20,605. So this minus this, we are getting 58,645. Then here we have 61,540. For the fourth year we have 64,223. Fifth year we have 66,726. So the total profit for 5 years is 306,634. 3,06,634. Okay, so this is the total profit for 5 years. Got the profit for 5 years, that is 3,06,634. Now this is not the end of the problem here. Now the problem also states that since we have bought the asset, this asset can be sold, correct? And what has happened, since this asset is sold, it is sold for how much? It is sold for a residual value of 20,000. So now we will have to calculate whether we have made a profit or loss on sale of asset. If we have made a profit on sale of asset, it has to be added to this, and if we have made a loss on sale of asset, it has to be minus from this total profit. Okay, so now we will go to the next part. The next part states here is the cost. We have to find profit or loss on sale of asset. Correct? So now we will see what is the cost of the asset first. The cost of the asset is 1 lakh. Correct? Now we need to find the book value. So how do we find the book value? Cost of the asset minus total depreciation. Now if you look at this, total depreciation is here. It is 55,630. So we minus it. It is 55,630. So the book value is 44,370. Now 44,370 is the book value of the asset after 5 years. Now how much is this particular asset sold for? If this asset was sold for 60,000, we would have made a profit. But this asset, this book value is 44,370 and we have sold it for 20,000. We have sold it for 20,000, which means we have made a loss. So book value minus 20,000, book value minus 20,000, we will get how much? 24,370. This is the loss. Now since this is the loss, we will minus it from the total profit. Minus it from the profit, that is 24,370. So how much we get? Our end profit. Our end profit is 2,82,264. Now this is the profit which we have made. If we could have made if we have purchased the asset, and then obviously if we have purchased the asset, we own the asset, and since we own the asset, we could sell the asset. So yes, this is the final profit that we could have made if we had to purchase the asset. So now we have to go to the next is lease. So now coming to lease. So in case of lease, the calculation is different. So before we go to lease, when we buy the asset, we had to pay, since we had taken, now the problem was on loan, right? So there was principal, interest, residual value. Now with respect to lease, there is only one thing, that is rental amount. So we just concentrate on one thing. So now here we have assumed, they have made an assumption which is already given in the problem. The problem is saying that 1 lakh is your profit before lease and rent. So the total comes here to 5 lakhs. So in case if we had to lease this particular asset, what would be our profit? That is what we are going to find out. So the second thing here is, now here we will have to minus lease rent. Now we are minusing the expense, right? So there in that case we minus depreciation and interest. Here we are minusing only one thing. So that is lease rent. Now lease rent is the same for all 5 years. So we just have to write the same figure for all 5 years. So 30,000 it is for all 5 years. So we write 30,000. So the total comes to 1,50,000. So in this case, what we have here, profit before tax, profit before tax. It's the same in all the cases. So 70,000 is profit before tax. So for all 5 years, it's the same. So total profit before tax is 3,50,000. Correct? Now we have tax amount. Now tax amount also is going to be same because profit is same for all the years. So tax amount is 26% of profit. So it comes to 18,200. So again we put this in brackets. Please understand, negative figures just put it in brackets so that you don't get confused. So 18,200, 18,200, 18,200, 18,200. So total tax comes to 91,000. Please do the calculation. This is the total. So total tax comes to 91,000. And here we have profit after tax. So profit after tax is profit before tax minus tax amount. So here it is coming to 51,800. So all the years it is 51,800. 51,800. So total profit for 5 years it is 2,59,000. Now this is the total profit made for 5 years. Now you as a businessman, now you are meant to take a decision. You have to take a decision whether you should buy the asset or you should take the asset on lease. In this case, what are you going to do? So here, when you are leasing the asset, you have made a profit of 2,59,000. So yes, when you have leased the asset, you have made a profit of 2,59,000. Now when you have bought the asset, okay, you have owned the asset yourself, you are making a profit of 2,82,264. So now if you are a corporate, you are a company, now in this case you would have been making less profits. In the other case, you would be making higher profits. Therefore, the corporate decision would be to buy or purchase the asset instead of lease. Okay, because the profit for the first 5 years in case of lease is 2,59,000, which is much less than 2,82,264. So this is the solution for the first problem.